Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I cordially welcome you to today's video. Well, I am Dr. Athar Munir Siddiqui, and in today's video I will be giving you some tips to prepare for a winning presentation, especially oral presentation. We are living in an age when we have to give lots of presentations as a student and in our professional life. And our success in the academic life and in the professional life depends in our skill in presentations. The better we are in giving a presentation, the more successful we will be as a student and as a professional. Very few people are born presenters, and I believe that if you would like to be a winning presenter or an effective presenter, you need to learn how to become an effective presenter. And you can do this slowly, slowly, and slowly. And in today's video, I will be telling you about the steps which can help you prepare a presentation. For many people, preparing a presentation is an overwhelming experience. They become afraid, they become nervous, and they become tense. And the strategies and the steps which I am going to share with you in the following slides, they will help you break down what you might view as a large job into smaller, more manageable tasks. So if you follow the steps which I am going to share with you, you will be able to break down this large task into smaller manageable tasks. So let us have a look. What are these steps? So the first step in preparing your presentation is you need to analyze your audience. You need to learn more about the audience whom you will be speaking. And remember, it's a good idea to obtain some information on the backgrounds, values, and interests of your audience so that you understand what the audience members might expect from your presentation. I once talked to a successful presenter and asked him, "What do you do when you are asked to give a presentation?" His response was, "The first thing I do is I collect information about the audience, that who will be attending my presentation. Will I be giving a presentation to people from my own field who have knowledge, technical knowledge of the subject, or will I be giving a presentation to common people who have very little knowledge of my subject?" So if I have to give a presentation to the people from my own field, then I may be using technical words, jargon. But if I am going to give the presentation on the same topic to a group of lay people, then the style, the mode, the material, and the choice of the material, the choice of the medium will be different. So it is always a good idea to get to know about your audience well in advance. The more you know about your audience, the better prepared you will be for your presentation. And the chances are that you will be successful in your task. So number 2 step is select a topic. Next, if possible, select a topic that is of interest to the audience and to you. Sometimes the teacher in the academic world, the teacher assigns you to give a presentation on a topic. But remember, if you have got the liberty to select a topic, then go for one which you feel comfortable and in which you are interested, and also consider the audience perspective, that audience may be interested in hearing a talk about that topic, and it will be much easier to deliver a presentation that the audience finds relevant and more enjoyable to research a topic that is of interest to you. If you decide to give a presentation on a topic you know in which you are not yourself interested, then you will not enjoy the process of collecting material or researching the topic, and the result will be your presentation will be uninteresting. If you yourself are not interested in your topic, then how your audience will be interested in the topic in which you yourself are not interested? So interest should come from you. Okay. Now the next step, that is step number 3, is define the objective of the presentation. Once you have selected a topic, or once a topic has been given to you from your big boss or from your professor, you should write the objective of the presentation in a single concise statement. The objective needs to specify exactly what you want your audience to learn from your presentation. Do you want to entertain your audience? Do you want to inform your audience? Do you want to persuade them? What exactly do you want them to do after your presentation, or what you want them to learn from your presentation? Then you should base the objective and level of the content on the amount of time you have for the presentation and the background knowledge of the audience. Here you must keep in mind that there is always some limited amount of time for giving a presentation. You cannot speak for hours and hours and hours on a single topic. So you should keep in mind the time given to you, or the available time for giving a presentation on the topic, and you should select the content, the material, and the level of the content depending upon the amount of available time and also the background knowledge of the audience. For example, if you have only 10 minutes for your presentation, you cannot include everything in your 10-minute talk. There should be 7 to 8 minutes for your talk and 2 to 3 minutes for answering the questions. Similarly, you must also consider the background knowledge of the audience. If your audience consists of lay people, if there are lay people in your audience, then you should talk about the basic things without using the technical vocabulary, which may be hard for the common people to understand. But if your talk is going to be attended by people from your own field, then they would like to hear something new or innovative or more informative, then you can go for more technical vocabulary and go for more dense information. Now, after you have defined the objectives of the presentation, you should use this statement to help keep you focused as you research and develop the presentation. So this objective statement should be in front of you when you are preparing your presentation. Now, step number 4 is preparing the content of your presentation. Prepare the body of the presentation. After defining the objective of your presentation, determine how much information you can present in the amount of time allowed. And I have already talked about the importance of time. If you have collected more material than can be presented in the time slot available to you, then the danger is that the key points will remain unsaid and the time will be over. And no matter how brilliant you present your point of view, the last or the key points will remain missing, and you will you will not be able to leave a positive impact on your audience. So always respect the time limit and determine how much information can be presented in that time. If you have got a 10-minute slot, present that much information that can be squeezed into 10 minutes. You cannot squeeze 30 minutes the information which can be delivered in 30 minutes in a 10-minute slot. Also, use your knowledge about the audience to prepare a presentation with the right level of detail. I've already talked about the importance of the audience. You don't want to plan a presentation that is too basic or too advanced. The body of the presentation is where you present your ideas. To present your ideas convincingly, you will need to illustrate and support them. Now, there are certain strategies which can help you do this. For example, you can present data and facts. You can also read quotes from experts. You can also relate personal experiences to support your viewpoint. You can give vivid descriptions. You should remember, as you plan the body of your presentation, it is important to provide variety. Means that if you present only data and hard facts in your presentation may become heavy and boring. So you should have the variety. For example, you can relate personal experiences and you can give vivid descriptions. On the other hand, if you relate only personal experiences in your presentation, then it it will become an entertaining talk without any hard facts or data to support your viewpoint. That will be your own personal experience. So people will not be, it will be hard for people to believe in you. So your presentation should be a combination of different things. So listeners may quickly become bored by lots of facts, or they may tire of hearing story after story. That's what I have already told you. And the next step, that is step number 5, is prepare the introduction and conclusion. Once you have prepared the body of the presentation, decide how you will begin and end the talk. Make sure the introduction captures the attention of your audience and the conclusion summarizes and reiterates your important points. In other words, tell them what you are going to tell them, then tell them what you have told them. You must always keep in mind that any good presentation has a good structure. It has an introduction, it has a body, and then it has a conclusion. So if any of these things is missing in a presentation, that presentation will be lopsided. So now the question is how to open the presentation. After you have collected material, you need to decide the order in which you will be presenting the material. that what you will say first, what you will say after that, what you will say after that, and then what you will say towards the end of the your presentation. Let me give you an example from our day-to-day life. Suppose you have invited somebody for a dinner and you have prepared the whole lots of dishes for the new couple. There is chicken biryani, there is chicken kadhai, there is salad, and then there is dessert, and you have also prepared soup and green tea. So what do you do is you start. Now everything which should be there in a grand dinner is already there, but what you do is you start with green tea, and then you serve the dessert, and after dessert you give biryani, and after biryani you give chicken kadhai, and in the end you serve the soup. Now will your guests be happy? Surely they will not be. Although all the dishes that should be there in a grand dinner are already there. So what is the problem? Now the problem is the order of serving the dishes is not correct. So same is the case with presentation. If you have got all the material, your material is interesting and relevant, but what you should have said in the beginning, you said towards the end. And what should be said towards the middle, in the middle, you said in the opening. So you should judiciously decide what will go in the beginning, what will go in the middle, and what will go in the opening. So let's talk about more about the opening. Opening is always important. Even in cricket matches, lot of thought is given that who will be the opening batsman, who will be the opening bowler. It's always important. So during the opening of your presentation, it's important to attract the audience's attention and build their interest. If you don't do this, listeners will turn their attention elsewhere and you will have a difficult time getting it back. Now there are certain strategies you can use to attract or capture the attention of your audience. The first is make the introduction relevant to the listener's goals, values, and needs. You should start, by addressing to what listeners actually would like to hear. And you can even ask questions to stimulate thinking. And I have attended lots of presentations given by successful national and international presenters in different conferences, and many presenters start their presentations by asking questions. And there is another strategy that you can open your presentation by sharing a personal experience, by sharing a short story, but that should not be too long, maybe 1 or 2 or maximum 3 minutes. You can also begin with a joke or humorous story, and then you can relate that joke or humorous story to your presentation. You can also project a cartoon or show a colorful visual to attract the attention of your audience. So the first 2 minutes or first 5 minutes in a presentation are very important. If you are able to capture the attention of your audience for the first 3 to 5 minutes, then the chances are that your audience will remain with you throughout your presentation. But if you lose the attention or if you fail to attract the attention of your audience within the first few minutes, then the chances are that they will not be listening to you. They may be present in the room. They may not leave the room out of courtesy or out of other considerations, but they will not be listening to you. So another equally important strategy is make a stimulating and inspirational statement. You can also give a unique demonstration. During the opening, you want to clearly present your topic and the purpose of your presentation. Clearly articulating the topic and purpose will help the listeners focus on and easily follow your main ideas. So, I think this is enough for today. In part 2, I will be talking about how to end the presentation and the other things related to presentation. So, thank you very much for today, and let me see you in the next video.